Hello Sean, we've got the transmission out of your '06 Chevy pickup. This is what it looks like when it's all apart. We'll go over some things we found on the inside with you so you understand what it is that we're actually talking about. So this is what it looks like. The pan, you can see all the black goop inside the pan. This is all clutch material. So any fiber is going to show up as black stuff, and then on top of the magnet is going to be, of course, pieces of steel. So this is all steel because it's attracted by the magnet. As far as the things that we found inside, the transmission really was not that great. So I'm not sure if this camera is going to pick up this or not, but right where this pick is, so I don't think it's going to show it. I do have a picture, but right where the tip of the pick is, there's a crack. So this drum is actually cracked, and that's obviously going to be a source of hydraulic leakage on the inside. So the crack goes like this. We'll attach a picture to the email that does pretty clearly show the crack. So this drum is no good, and this probably is going to be an explanation on why the 3/4 clutch is so burnt up. So you can see what the clutches look like. They're just absolutely destroyed. So the 3/4 clutch is supposed to come on 4th, 3rd, and 4th. It's in terrible shape. This one is our forward clutch, comes on for all the forward gears. If you look at the friction, you can see the black line there where my thumb is. Well, that's going to be from slippage. This one here is our overrun clutch, so you can see darkening on that clutch there. This clutch, we call these no-name brand clutches because there's no markings on them. They're the cheaper clutches, but this one has been slipping a little bit. That's what the problem with this is. The band, this band comes on for 2nd and 4th. You can see all the pitting. That's from the band that's been slipping. You can see where my finger is. You can see the dark green lining, and in between there you can see that they're all blackened. So there's no question that the band for 2nd and 4th has been slipping as well. The Sprague outer race, again, the camera probably won't pick this up very well, but the surface here has some really weird markings, like it's going through the hardening. So this, I don't want to reuse this Sprague because we don't want it to actually have a failure, right? So the Sprague assembly we're going to suggest be replaced. On this planetary, what's supposed to happen on a planetary, I'll use the front planetary as an example. So these gears have got needles inside there, and then they're sitting on a pin. So if you look here, that's going to be the pin, and then there's needles stacked up inside it, kind of like a U-joint. But when I try to wiggle this, I'm trying to wiggle this like this. You see there's no movement here at all. That's what they should look like if the pins are good and if the needles are good. But on this rear planetary, you'll see I can wiggle this gear, so you see me wiggling it. Well, that says that the pin is no good or the needles are no good, and really it's all of the planetary. So you see the gears wiggling. Well, that didn't happen in a short period of time. That probably was missed on the last build. Well, you know, that means this planetary is no good because it's worn out. On the sun gear, the front sun gear, the camera may not pick it up. It's going to be kind of hard to see, but where my thumb is, there's quite a bit of pitting. So here where my thumbnail is, the camera's just not going to pick it up very well, but there's quite a bit of pitting on the gear. We'd be afraid of the gear fracturing off and then causing a failure, so the sun gear is no good either. We've got a lot of metal that's gone through the unit. You can see the thrust washer is quite rough. And then for some reason, this is the 1-2 accumulator. This is not from this transmission. This is from an earlier transmission. The piston is usually a different design on anything that's newer than 94. This setup they would have had prior to that. And you know, basically, they probably did this to try to get a real crisp shift from first to second, but this is not how it was designed to work. This piston, this housing, this is all the wrong stuff. In the separator plate, they had a separator plate that the ball probably went through this area here. You can see this piece sticking up. So what they've used is a hardened insert to go in place of that, and then the check ball is going to sit on top of that. That's not really a big problem as long as the ball fits properly, so we have to check that. But they have drilled, at least this hole here where my thumb is, that hole's been drilled out, and I think they've blocked the accumulator for the 3/4 shift as well. That's probably to give a firmer shift from second to third. The other thing that I would consider odd is in this 3/4 clutch pack, there were supposed to be these load release springs, and it's not recommended to leave those out. You leave them out on a when it's a 700R4, but not on a 4L60E. So the load release springs basically sit in these cavities here, and there'll be 5 of them. That's to help keep this top plate. So in the clutch pack, this top plate here is to help keep it from centrifugally applying this clutch and causing it to drag. So we're going to be replacing that. If we were to do this transmission, we would make sure that the load release springs are placed back in there like they should be. So that's basically what we found inside. Like I said, it's sometimes easier to show on a video what we're talking about, but this transmission is in pretty rough shape, and we'll give you some cost estimates, and we'll just go from there. But at least you know what the inside of the transmission did look like. So thanks.